Okay, hi guys. So this next tutorial is going to be about incomplete dominance. And incomplete dominance is really not that bad. If you understand regular Punnett squares, it's the same exact thing. The only difference is if we're dealing with a heterozygous trait, it's not going to be the dominant trait, it's going to be sort of a blending of the dominant and the recessive. So for instance, the famous example is with flowers. These flowers can be incomplete dominant. So the dominant trait, big R, is red, and the recessive trait, little r, is white. However, if it's heterozygous, if it's one big R and one little r, it's going to be sort of a blending of the two traits. So the only difference is the heterozygotes are a different phenotype. And so in this one, if we say fill in a Punnett square for a cross between two pink flowers, I'm going to make my Punnett square. And so for pink, and it's listed here, pink is going to be big R, little r. So both parents are going to be heterozygous. Okay? And so for a problem that involves incomplete dominance, it will say that in the problem. So if it doesn't say it's incomplete dominance, don't assume. But in this case, it is indicating that. And so we have, in this one, big R, in this one, big R, this one, big R, this one, little r. So in this case, we're going to have, if I fill in the phenotypes, this will be red, this will be pink, this will be pink, and this will be white. So we actually have three different types of phenotypes. And so we would say a 25% chance of having a red flower, 50% chance of having a pink flower, and a 25% chance of having a white flower. So that's incomplete dominance. You're filling it out the same exact way, but in this case you are just dealing with an extra phenotype. And so if we look at our handout, Genetics Problems 2, the first three problems in this packet all involve incomplete dominance. So if we read this first one, and it even says it, problems involving incomplete dominance. Mr. and Mrs. Anderson both have tightly curled hair. The hair form gene shows incomplete dominance. There are two alleles, curly and straight. The heterozygote has wavy hair. So if they have curly hair, they're going to be homozygous dominant. Wavy hair will be heterozygous. And straight hair will be homozygous recessive. So the Andersons have a child. So we said Mr. and Mrs. Anderson both have tightly curled hair. So if they have curly hair, then they're both going to be homozygous dominant. So we have big H over here. So Mr. Anderson accuses, let's see, they have a child with wavy hair. And Mr. Anderson thinks Mrs. Anderson cheated on him. Ooh, this one's a scandalous one. So let's see, could two parents with curly hair have a kid with wavy hair? So if we fill this in, all the possible offspring are homozygous dominant, which means they would all have curly hair. So if I fill this out, 100%, 0%, and 0%. So in this situation, is the child Mr. Anderson's? No, because it's not possible for him and his wife to have a kid with wavy hair. So that's how you do this sort of problem. So there's another hair form problem down here, and then on the back there's another problem involving horses, but they're all incomplete dominance. So try those out. Good luck.